Let's begin a meeting with the roll call, please.
Certainly. On the top of the morning to everybody on this National Feast Day, I just wanted to say that. Mr. Early is excused. Lou Jones.
Yes, sir.
Pat Delameter.
Here.
Maggie Wilson.
Here.
Okay. Fulton County, Yvonne Hart.
Here.
Jack Farquhar.
Here.
Lucas Paskowitz is not with us. Hamilton County, Joyce Malidi.
Here.
Phil Malidi, present. Susan Franco.
Here.
Gary Wicks.
Here.
Montgomery County, Tom Pasquarelli is excused. Mickey Swartz. Here. Trish Green. Well, she was here. Okay. Tony Agresta.
Here.
Otsego County, Sid Chase is excused. Beth McGowan.
Here.
Dr. Markowitz.
Here.
Dana Wygant.
Here.
Rich Kirschman.
Here.
Schoharie County, Ed Brandt.
Here.
Bill Beavers.
Here.
Ed Hillenbrand.
Here.
Dr. Frank Valois.
Here.
Mark Zeke is excused. And Dr. Leinhardt.
Here.
Sir, we have a quorum and then some.
Okay, very good. We have some guests here today.
Oh, we have a whole bunch of guests. We got Joe Cazzola and Rich Knapp from the town of Hancock Ambulance. Mike Hartzell, who's the Emergency Management Director from Schoharie County. Don Coy from Fulton County 911, former member. John McMillan from Gavac.
Yep.
Deb Cuffs from Remo. Tim Foster from the Oneonta Fire Department. Tim, welcome. We have Jennifer Elmendorf from Nathan Latour Hospital. Lee Smith from the Wells Ambulance. Roy Sweet from Ambulance Service of Fulton County. Is Roy here? Or is he
Right there.
Is he? There he is. Okay. Welcome one another. Did I leave anybody out? If I did, it was inadvertent, I assure you. Okay.
Very good. Well, welcome one and all. We need an approval of our minutes from our last meeting. We need a motion.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Made and second.
Tony was Oh, Mickey, and the second was? Rich. Rich, okay.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Okay. We've got quite a bit of correspondence. Not an awful lot of trees died over this.
That's good. Not too many electronic trees.
I don't have a report. We'll move on to Secretary's report, please.
Yvonne Hart has advised us that she's being promoted at Nathan Latour Hospital, and we congratulate her for that. And is going to be taking her place in the emergency department. And Fulton County Advisory Board approves and will be shortly sending me a written nomination that Jennifer Elmendorf replace Yvonne Hart as a member of this council. So I would make a motion that we accept this nomination pending written approval from the Fulton County Advisory Board. They can send me an email at their convenience. I would make that motion.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, who seconded? Dave, okay.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?
Jennifer, welcome. On March 4th, bear with me a moment. On March the 4th, we were advised that this was an unusual email. The Northern Ambulance Service, operating in northern Franklin County, has employment opportunities. Information is available, and there's a phone number you can call. We don't normally post employment opportunities on our website, but information will be in the minutes. On March 15th, we received word from the Delaware County Department of Emergency Services of an AED use on March 14th by the Delaware County Sheriff's Department. The patient was an 80-year-old male, and resuscitative efforts, unfortunately, were unsuccessful. Some interesting EPCR statistics. I had a handout here, and I will include that handout when I send the minutes out electronically. Total number of EPCRs uploaded in this region in 2015 was 30,211, and in 2016 to date, 5,031. That is 66% of the total PCRs submitted in this region each month. Last month I noted it was 51%. Tom Pasquarelli very kindly pointed out that I did the math incorrectly, and I said that's what happens when you have a math challenged person who's in a hurry. Anyway, 66%, and when Fulton County Ambulance comes on board with their electronic PCR submissions, it'll be closer to 80% of the PCRs submitted every month in this region are going to be submitted electronically. And that's only by 27 agencies out of 49 transporting agencies in the county. Interesting stat. We have a lot of very small agencies in the county. I have a request for equipment for the office, if I may. My computer printer needs to be replaced. The print heads are failing. As we get older, our print heads fail slowly but surely. And I would like to purchase another one. I'll make this request separately from my second request. So the cost will be approximately $125 to $150. This is just a plain vanilla color inkjet printer. And I would like somebody to make a motion and second that for me, if you would. Jack Farquhar and
There's a second?
Second.
second by Pat. Okay.
Motion's been made and seconded to purchase this printer for the office. All those in favor? In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?
I won't abstain because I have no pecuniary interest in it. I just have an interest in printing out things. What I have to do now is print out everything at the high resolution because you print out a normal resolution or a draft resolution. Some of the printheads don't connect with the paper, or however that works. I'm not really sure. We find that at the end of this quarter, the regional council contract will have a little money left over. And I think we can thank the state for their timely payments for this. Now, this is the end of the quarter and the end of the first year of our 5-year contract swing. So if we have money left over at the end of March 31st, we have to give it back to the state. Instead of giving it back to the state, no offense to the state, of course, but instead of giving it back to the state, I would like to upgrade our copier in the office. Our current copier is fairly new. It's about 3 years old now. But I'd like to upgrade it to a color copier scanner. It's an all-in-one copier, and I'd like to acquire a color all-in-one copier with scanner and fax capabilities, that means. And we'll be able to do that for about $3,000, and that will just nicely take care of what's left over in the budget at the end of this contract year, which we cannot roll over to the next contract year by state regulation. So,
I'm sorry. Did we do this last year? But weren't we going to get you one that did everything all together?
yeah, except it's black and white, it's not color.
Oh.
So we would trade this one in to get a color one. And
so why don't you get a printer too, instead of doing the thing that you just said that you're only spend $125 on?
oh well, the printer is in with the computer, and the copier is a little bit different, animal. It's not quite the same.
They're in the same place?
Different. Well, they're different locations in the office.
Oh, okay.
Different locations.
Whatever's easiest for you.
The printer is right next to the computer. Oh, and by the way, Joyce's, this isn't part of the motion, but Joyce's new laptop that we approved a couple of months ago should be delivered either today or tomorrow. She's going to be really, her fingers are going to be flying over the keyboard on the new laptop.
Well, I'm not enthused about a new computer. I've never enthused about a new computer. But the one I'm using, laptop I'm using now, every once in a while will just totally go blank as I'm working. And
there's a metaphor in that for EMS. Did you check that? EMS is showing its age, and so are computers.
So I've lost data several times, lost stuff I was working on, and so I'm happy to get a new one.
It should be delivered. We'll bring it into the next meeting. It's very nice state-of-the-art Dell laptop.
I make a motion to spend whatever you want and get whatever you want.
You can't do that.
Whatever he said before that.
Motion is made to
A color copy with
copy
scanner and fax capability in the neighborhood of $3,000.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I will.
Oh, Dan.
Okay, everyone understand the motion?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstained?
And once again, I will not abstain. Joyce will not abstain. We don't have any pecuniary interest in this whatsoever. Just an interest.
Except that I will send you a note from Barbados.
Our interest is in cranking out the information in a timely way and in a legible way for all of you. So, okie doke. And we have not received any notice of enforcement actions this month.
That's good.
Yes, that's my report, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you. Treasurer's report?
Treasurer's report, the cash flow and balance sheets were available, and Jack and Lou took a look at them. Tom and Sid, who have excused absences, will be able to review the material at their next month's meeting. And their report?
Everything appears to be complete and accurate.
Sure with that?
Okay, we just need a motion.
Okay. Need a motion to accept the treasury report?
So moved.
You have a second?
Who was, I'm sorry, Pat, okay.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?
Do I say no?
Abstain.
We'll abstain this time, the staff member. I'm sorry, who seconded that? Pat seconded, who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Dana.
Dan, I'm sorry, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Committee reports. We got anything on?
Program agency?
Program agency.
No, nothing to report.
Okay.
Chris probably has something on training.
Training?
The application and the schedule for the instructor update is, I've got it. Howard completed it. Dr. Fisher signed it today, so I'll be sending that in. It's scheduled for the 4th of June. That's the first Saturday in June at SUNY Cobblestone. We are going to invite, it'll be Howard is going to teach, plus Gene Taylor, on basically responsibility as an instructor, instructor's ethical responsibilities, which we were talking about this morning, and course paperwork, that kind of thing. We are going to invite the course sponsor representatives to the entire day, so that they will also get an idea of what's required, and also the paperwork flow and what paperwork is required. So as soon as we get the approval, we'll send out notices about that. The other thing is I've been trying to think of something that would be worthwhile doing some type of training on. And I've gotten several requests about over the past year, and one just recently, about the duties of a designated infection control officer. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. There's probably a lot of lack of knowledge about what it is, what they do. Some of these agencies have no idea about the Ryan White law and the designated infection control officer. So I started working on a handbook, describing what the job is, describing what the law is, some of the forms that I had put together, reporting forms, that kind of thing. And I'd like to do that as a project. But what I'd also like is I'd like to have several people, at least maybe 4 or 5 at a minimum, who know what the law says, who know a little bit about what the designated officer's job is, to take what I'm writing, read it through, see what they think, see if they have any suggestions, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass around a sheet. If you are interested, if you know a little bit about it, if you know enough about it, you think to be able to do that, I really would appreciate you putting your name and just email. We'll do this all by email. I'll send out the stuff by email, and you can respond to me by email. So I really would appreciate if I get some help on that. Anybody have any thoughts on
Just from my
DO
observations.
responsibilities?
Just from my observations and my contact with various agencies, which, as you see in the correspondence, is really ongoing. Most of our agencies, a vast number of our agencies, don't have too much of a clue about the Ryan White Act or what's involved in its implementation. They just don't.
No, just some of them don't have any clue whatsoever about what it is, and even that it exists. So I think that this is one thing that could really be used an update on. So anyway, I'd appreciate the help. That's my report.
Okay, when would you like to do that? You'd like to put this part of the update and
No, I'm just gonna, I really would like to just do it and make it available to all the agencies. Have the handbook and maybe even do a PowerPoint program that can be used for, to train new DOs, that kind of thing. I really don't have total thought on it yet, but the first thing I'd like to do is do a handbook for people who are DOs, so that they can at least get a basic understanding of the job and what's required by the law and what's included in the law. So as soon as I can get it done, just send it to all the agencies.
I know the fire base agencies, volunteer fire base agencies, quite a few years ago, they came out with an infection control course. They have a, what's it, health and safety officer, and now they have a health officer course and a safety officer course now, 2 separate courses now, right?
We also did a health and safety. We did a whole day worth of that a number of years ago. All about the OSHA laws, that kind of thing. But that was quite a long time ago. And but now I really do think that that there's a lot of misunderstanding about the Ryan White, if they know what it is at all.
I was going to say, rather than misunderstanding, no understanding at all. Really.
Yeah. And a lot of people,
Oh, they probably, well, they don't, a lot of them probably.
I think a lot of people have heard that the Ryan White law went away, and they don't even know that it came back again.
Right, yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So anyway, so if you have any thoughts, let me know, and if you would like to help and can help, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, transportation standards.
Transportation standards, I have a most interesting little comment. On March the 14th, we were contacted by a legal firm on Long Island regarding the recent bankruptcy declaration of TransCare Ambulance. TransCare Ambulance is a big provider down in Westchester County, Putnam County, New York, and also in Manhattan and the Bronx areas of New York City. They went bankrupt very suddenly, and the judge issued a cease and desist order, and 27 vehicles, so I'm told, were taken off the street in New York City, and Fidney really had to scramble to fill the gap. Anyway, these folks at the legal firm in Long Island inquired as to the regional policy on transferring operating authority for an ambulance service that has not been in continuous operation in its operating territory for a period in excess of 30 days. Now, TransCare is licensed by the Department of Health to operate in Delaware County. They took over many years ago from the old Hudson Valley Ambulance. To the best of my knowledge, they have never operated in Delaware County, although they've had an operating certificate for Delaware County. Now, this region doesn't have any policy on such an issue as transfer of operating authority when the agency has not been active. We don't have such a policy because the issue has never presented itself before. So in consultation with Dan Clayton at the Department of Health, he advised that AAREMS need take no action on this at the present time, pending receipt of an application for transfer of operating authority from TransCare. Apparently, TransCare is going to be seeking at some point to transfer their operating authority to a new entity, as very often happens with a bankrupt agency. It was also advised that currently the bankruptcy court has issued a cease and desist order for all TransCare operations, so any transfer of operating authority is a very moot point right now. It can't take place until the bankruptcy court rules otherwise. So that's where we are at present. We need take no action, but I just wanted to let everybody know what was going on. It is, so I am advised, a very tangled legal situation. And our only part in it will be when and if we get a transfer of operating authority request from them.
Didn't TransCare take over Decker Ambulance Service?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
bought Decker,
They
then
bought
went
Decker.
Hudson Valley, and then so they actually owned like a really almost the whole coastline. They went all the way right down.
Right, yeah.
I don't think they ever operated really in Delaware County.
No.
They just brought up
the, yeah, they just took up the
No,
seal.
they actually,
They had a couple of transfers.
yeah, they had one station just down the road from
Now,
Hammond.
technically, this is interesting, technically, so if they wish, they can resume operations in Delaware County anytime they want to.
Correct.
I don't quite know how they would go about that logistically, but legally they could do so if they wish.
They actually done that in Sullivan County when I was working for Mobile
Did they?
Medic. There was a time period where they came in, activated it, I had a truck sitting at Casco Regional, and they were doing transports in and out, and then they just pulled out overnight.
Yes.
Right.
So, the money or whatever, for whatever reason, I don't know, they look at that. They
The way the
pulled out.
public health law reads is that the regional council can approve a transfer of operating authority even if they have been inactive for a period in excess of 30 days. But they are a little bit nervous about that because the Department of Health apparently reserves the right to cancel operating authorities that have been inactive in excess of 30 days. These folks have been inactive in Delaware County in approximately 30 years, I guess it is now, but much less 30 days. So in any event, everybody's just waiting to see what happens with the bankruptcy.
What if there's some summary judgment by the judge that said that they couldn't operate because of the, what was that?
Well, the
As
judge-
part of the bankruptcy, there was, I was reading.
The judge issued a cease and desist. That's why they
Yeah.
took all the animals off the street. They can't operate anywhere right now.
When it first came out on Wednesday, they were going to split their operations and allow the Pennsylvania and either the Westchester or the, and Rockland to continue under, they have 3 incorporations within the state of New York. I looked them up at the comptrollers or whatever, where you can look up the and they were going to split off one of those corporations and continue operations. But Friday, the referee had said, no, the monies that you owe were used in all of your operations, and the referee decided to close all of the operations.
So it stands right now, everything is closed?
Yep, their radios were seized by Goose Creek, Goose Town. The ambulances were repossessed by Wells Fargo. And I believe the total number of people that were out of work was about 1,700. One thing that was brought up at CNAC and SEMSCO is that we felt that everybody from all the street provider level employees and the agencies that and counties that had to pick up the slack responded spectacularly, was her word. Nobody, when they got the word to bring the ambulances back in, they finished their runs, they turned in their paperwork, there was no property damage. Everybody brought their ambulances back in one piece, and in some cases they got out of one set of ambulances, changed into a different color uniform, and went right back out on a different color ambulance.
Wow. Wow. That's highly professional and very commendable.
Yeah, and she did commend that at the SEMSCO meeting, that every, the potential for nastiness could have been there, and everybody behaved.
Wonderful. The extraordinary situation in Manhattan, the Bronx, 27 vehicles came off the road just like that, bam, at the end of the shift. Anywhere else in the United States, that would have been a major catastrophe. It was just a major inconvenience for Fidney.
Fidney put on 81 new shifts the next hour.
Good. New York City is like no other place on earth, that's what it comes down to. Okay? What it comes down to. I'll keep everybody fully informed what's going on. I suspect we probably will not be hearing too much more about this in the near future. In the near future, I suspect it's all going to be working out through the legal channels. That's my report, sir.
Okay, thank you.
State Council.
We got a state council report printout. Beth, could you
Yep.
add them to this now?
Both Tom and I attended the SEMSCO meeting. There was a change in our chair. Our chair is now Steve Cole, who's someone, the people that around here know him fairly well. He used to be with Beanies, and now he works for another agency. But his vision for the council for this year, besides the fulfillment of the statutory responsibilities, he wants to help address the current considerable challenges in EMS, funding, staffing, etc. His goal is to produce a white paper on the state of EMS in New York. He plans to hold a series of conference calls to which all the SEMSCO members will be invited to help build the report by sections. He noted that in this current rapid reorganization of almost the entire healthcare system, EMS is still sitting on the sidelines. Every single meeting that we were at, subcommittee and meeting, talked quite a bit about the TransCare bankruptcy. And pretty much what we just talked about was the extent of what was talked about. The New York statewide BLS protocols have been updated and published to the New York State Bureau of EMS and Trauma website. A bunch of them have been moved to a flow chart presentation. It's important to note the content has not changed, it's just how their design has changed. They reviewed the newly designated trauma centers. Request for everybody that can participate with the EMS Memorial will be held on May 17th at 11 o'clock on the Empire State Plaza. There are 6 names to be added to the tree. And sadly enough, all of the spots on the tree are full, and there will be new branches added to the tree to accommodate future needs.
That's what was that date?
May 17th at 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
Vital signs will be October 13th through 16th in Syracuse. The regulation changes, and I'm not sure how they line up, 800.5, 800.12, and 8036 are moving along in the adoption process. I think they had to do with controlled substance requirement, reciprocity, and controlled substance agents. CMAC was an hour long. It was short. It was like a record. CMAC advisories 9701 on hemophilia and 9702 on biphasic AED were rescinded. And the hemorrhage protocol was changed again. Now the new protocol calls for the tourniquet to be placed at least 3 inches above the wound unless the scene is unstable, in which case it should be placed proximally as possible, high and tight. They gave an update on the check and inject kits. There are 236 agencies enrolled in Check and Inject New York, 42 career agencies, 112 volunteer agencies, 84 combined agencies, and 17 different REMACs across the state. 1,245 syringe epi sets have been ordered to date, and there have been 0 utilizations. They gave us a nice little map to reference where they all are. The peer committee, they've changed the award nominations submission date to May 1st so that it would allow award recipients to be nominated for national awards. In education and training, anybody who's a CIC knows that you have to take your level exam and get an 85% on it to continue being an instructor. As of the May exam, they are rescinding the 85% testing requirement and putting in its place a 50-question exam that has to do with being an instructor and knowing about learning theory. Is that a good way to describe it?
So the exam was built out of 2 things. It was built out of educational methodologies and theory, largely based on some of the stuff that was out of the NIMSI 1-level course, and also responsibilities having to do with state responsibilities for your CIC, paperwork, follow-through, etc. So it's kind of a marriage between the 2.
They're printing all of their EMT cards in-house now, so that there's no lost cards in between state printing and back to EMS. They tested last year 19,375 EMT candidates at all levels. And they stated that the cost for New York State Department of Health to do the testing was $213,125. If the National Registry had been used to conduct all of those exams, the cost would have been $1,385,020. So there are significant cost savings to doing it the way they do it. They adopted the trial CLI course that had been running for, I believe, about 2 years. And there was an emphasis that blood glucometry and CPAP are regional options, and that the course sponsors should not use class time to develop these skills in regions where they have not been approved for use, and CPAP must be taught by an advanced level CIC or a physician. Dana Jonas handed out his summary of all of the CON actions. They said that there are now 500 agencies statewide that are licensed to carry controlled substances. The safety committee is working on a database for reporting accident, injury, and near-miss reporting. They're working on ambulance construction regulations. And the legislative committee went through their normal oppose or support the different bills that are in legislation this term. That's it.
Thank you.
Beth noted that about the new state protocols. I think it's important, if you don't know, that they used to have separate first responder protocols. There's no longer separate first responder protocols. They're combined with the other state protocols.
Just a word of caution on that too. The region, the collaborative protocols, the committee is trying to include BLS protocols within them. And as the state BLS protocols change, you may find discrepancies between regional and state protocols.
The collaborative protocol work group met after one of the meetings, and they reviewed a bunch of different stuff, and they were going to push it out for review and comment to the regions. And we're hoping to take the finalized project to this May CNAC meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Regional program update. Anything on program directors?
No, nothing to report.
Any other program updates?
No, really, no. I'm in contact weekly with the other program directors around the state, and we kind of keep in touch with each other, and electronically mostly, rather than by mail, or rather than by phone, pardon me, and really nothing spectacular now, just kind of workday material.
Okay, REMAC report?
So the REMAC approved medical directors for Masonville, Dr. Markowitz, and Hancock fired Dr. Berg. There was discussion about what is ALS, and it was recommended that we encourage counties to seek emergency medical dispatch education and provide them resources that we're aware of, calendar attached, and also to expect that responding units will identify their specific levels of skill rather than globally saying ALS, so that dispatchers know and may know the distinction between AEMTs, critical cares, and paramedics. And finally, around the discussion of statistics and the awareness that the state bridge offers some opportunities, it was requested that we take a look at the prevalence of aspirin and 12-lead administration in cardiac responding chest pain calls, and also the use of etomidate in the region by non-MFI agencies, of which we have only 2 in our region, I believe. CMT, use that EMF5? So there's only one. So any agency other than GAVAC using Atomic would be interested in this. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, county reports. Delaware County? Otsego County?
Nothing to report.
Schoharie?
Quiet.
Montgomery?
Business as usual.
Fulton?
Nothing new.
I see a pattern emerging here.
Hamilton?
Okay, I'm gonna break the spell. Hamilton County EMS Council had a meeting on February 24th. It was very well attended. All but, all agencies in the county, all but one, responded. The next meeting is March 23rd in Indian Lake. I hear there will be pizza served. At the February 24th meeting, it was determined that training, the need for more volunteers, and communication were noted as the biggest concerns for each of the departments. As of Wednesday, there are 3 new American Heart Association CPR instructors in the county, so that'll be great. And as a county, we're trying to get a training calendar up and running on our website so we can get community members and members of other agencies, up there trained for whatever they might need. So,
Okay, thank you. Old business? Any old business? Any new business for this county?
Was there a decision, old business-wise, as to the protocols and authority to sign the MOU with the Collaborative Protocol Committee?
Yeah, we did offline decide to do that.
That should probably be there.
The doctors decided to do this after email discussions, is that what the saying goes?
So the REMSCO granted authority for the REMAC to sign that on behalf of the REMSCO?
Yeah. Okay.
Would you want to do that in the form of a motion, just so there's no ambiguity?
I thought you guys were going to catch the legal counsel on that last time. But we were not.
I thought they were just gonna do it as a group.
You got quite a few.
Okay. Any new business for this council? Everybody wanna go home?
All right, we have a motion adjourned. Our next meeting is Thursday, April 21st, right here. Probably won't have corned beef and cabbage for lunch, probably.